Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Tank StarCraft here with a Zerg vs Terran replay analysis. Today we're going to be looking at our hero, Tbham, spawning in the top left as the blue Zerg, and in the bottom right we got Justice, or Just Us, as the red Terran. We'll speed through these opening stages. I assume we're just going to be seeing hatch first stuff from Tbham. No one listens to me and goes 14 pool, 16 hatch. Everyone loves their hatch first. We'll see when he gets the gas. No gas yet, so I actually kind of like this. Gasless opening from Tbham. Could be maybe transfer. I see what he's doing. Okay. I was gonna say maybe could transfer those 3 drones, excess drones, to the natural, but given these Reapers are out. Oh, I actually think he killed the drone there, but that's not the end of the world. Third queen, yep, queued up, good. So this Reaper being a little annoying, but at least Tbham's keeping up with his steps pretty well. I'm curious if this is supposed to be 3 queen or whether he usually gets 4 out of this Reaper. Two drone kills, that's a little too much. And like just looking at the problem too is I think lots of excess larva, maybe missed some overlords too. So that definitely I think messed up Tbham's build a bit more than it should have. I'm actually gonna go back and just see if there was a way to kind of take a bit less damage from that Reaper. Oh yeah, this is part of it. Like these lings should be hotkeyed, which they were, but just kept in the main. That's the only place the drones are going to be. So just keep them in the main. Like I even like to keep them where the Reaper's going to jump up. Which on this map is either here or here. So as soon as those lings popped, I would have kept them down here. And then the queens, like this queen is moving way too far. Keep the queen like right in the mineral line basically. I'm going to be even critical of this spawning pool placement and say that it impedes the queen from defending, so get it the heck out of there. Don't have it touching the hatchery like that. Have it a couple squares down so that you can move the queen around the hatch in the ring around the rosy fashion. And then it's going to be a lot easier to keep that Reaper from killing a drone. Like, why is this guy over here? That's what I want to know. And then, yeah, these lings that are moving across the map should not be. They should be defensive for sure. And then ideally would have 2 overlords building right now. Two gas, I think that's intended. When you go gasless opening, generally you get 2 gas around 5-6 minutes, so that's good. See how long the supply block is, though. That hurts. There's the 4th queen, I like it. I love the connection to the base. There's the big round of drones that we need. And what are we going to be seeing from Tbham tech-wise? That's what I'm curious about. Roach Warren, Lair, Evo Chamber, double Evo. So kind of like a... first of all, this is good, just defending, walling off, first of all, with these 2 Evos. That's great. Looks like a soul... Is it soulless? Soulless is +1/+1 roach timing? Or soul key? Was it soul key? I think it might be soul key. So, just talking benchmark wise, usually you want to be saturating your main and natural with all the gas when you're doing this type of build by like 6 minutes. So we're at least a minute and a half late on the saturation points. Just it is a product of the pressure the opponent put on, but just something to be thinking about. I like the Spore. I would have used it as part of the wall, personally. But I do like the choice. I would even like to see an Overseer right now, for a couple reasons. First of all, if you build an Overseer here, you can go in and scout, and you would see, 3rd Command Center, you would see Banshee Tech on the way, you would see a factory with a tech lab on it, which is very interesting. But also, you'd be saving up that energy on the Overseer, which you can use to contaminate important structures. And also, like, no reason not to have a 3rd base started, I think, by about 8:39 minutes. And, oh god! Okay, so that's trouble. What do we have? We have 3 roaches out. We got to go back and take a look at this, because what I usually do when I'm going this type of roach play is I'll always build at least 6 to 8 roaches, and I'll make more depending on what my opponent's doing. So at this point, like, especially if I didn't have a third base, I would only be building roaches up until, like, if we're hitting our saturation point with our queens by like the 50s of supply, I'm at least going to like 80s, 90s of supply with roaches. And I think Tbham had this little gap in time where he wasn't producing roaches, maybe supply blocked a bit here. I actually need to go back even a little more. I'll go back to 8 minutes and I'll even go back to 7:30. So, okay, so we're still making drones here, right? Because we need them to fill the gases. I'm gonna get the 1-1 started. Beautiful. And I think he already came in and poked, so we saw a fair amount of Hellions, at least now. Seeing a fair amount of Hellions. And here, okay, so he's built enough drones. With those 2 that are coming out, it'll go to 44. Come on, 44, 44. Boom, roach production. No reason not to. Like, we got +1/+1 coming. Roach speed should be coming, and pretty much anything else should be going into overlords and roaches. So what's going to happen is Tbham is going to get supply blocked at 68, which is a huge deal. Got to be having extra overlords at this period of time. Hit the economy, build like 3-4 overlords, and pump only roaches for a bit with the speed. Because having those roaches with the speed is great. First of all, you can defend your third and your natural nice and easily, or you can even push out across the map. And in a situation like this, where he's filling up a medevac with Marines and doing this little swap action, you're going to be able to defend it no problem. And be ahead. Like, if we look at the income, you got to think about it. Like, Zerg is fully saturated on 2 base with all the gas. Terran is just now getting his gases, but he's not even close to fully saturated. The only reason his income is even this high is because he's using his mules in the main. So, yeah, I think really this is what hurt Tbham the most, was the supply block at 68. This is a nasty push. Oh, there's the roach speed, too. Whoa, roaches. Kiting with the queens, that's great. Even here, like, this is awesome from Tbham. Like, I don't think he even really meant to do this, but having these 3 roaches in the, like, forcing these Hellions and stuff to move away from the base is awesome. I would say even take it a step further, shoot, move away, and like kite a bit with these roaches while you're buying time for more roaches to come out. But even this is buying really valuable time. Right here, don't want to be taking a straight fight against this. You want to be shooting and moving away, maybe trying to keep the queens alive with transfuses and stuff like that, but you don't want the roaches up close to the Hellbats, especially with the Marines in the back being able to hit as well. On creep, even with slow roaches, you can shoot, move away from those Hellbats and get more cost-efficient of a trade. Transfuses are missing, unfortunately, too. There's one. Oh. And you know what? Like, it looks like it's going to hurt, and it probably will. Like, just losing those queens and everything is damage enough, but Tbham was so close to holding this with almost 0 damage done. I mean, just a couple more roaches earlier, a little bit more, you know, moving those guys around and defending a bit better, and he doesn't lose the queens, and he holds just fine. But in any event, I think that'll be enough roaches to hold it, so no economic damage done, except for the queens. So that's good. One problem is, of course, we don't have a third base still, so that's an issue. We need to get that as soon as possible. I think the most, like, even against an aggressive opponent, I think the quote-unquote latest third should be 9 minutes, and we're getting up to 10. Gonna go for a little push. Unfortunately, the Terran does have 2 tanks out now, so I don't know for sure if this is gonna do a ton of damage. And this is another reason I'm not a huge fan, is this drop's coming in. Actually, it looks like Tbham's gonna get the medevac. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, the beautiful focus fire. Nice job. Good game sense there. But here, like, immediately when the Banshee's out, you're probably thinking pull back, and then when you see the tank, you're definitely thinking, okay, I can't do damage. Like, against one of the 2, maybe, but definitely not both. Yeah, get out of there. Pull home, get your third up, get your 2-2. Hydroden, great, yeah. Notice this is a bit of the problem with going for exactly 16 drones at the natural, is that anytime you're building a third base, a Hydra den, anything like that, it's cutting into your 2-base economy. So my advice for Tbham, get up to like 18 to 20 workers at the natural eventually, so that when you do these types of things, building additional structures, this is definitely the better choice for the third, by the way. When you're building additional structures, you stay at 16 out of 16. That's very important. Additional queens, yeah, I guess because we lost some, we need to replace them. He is getting the cloak. I would say get a spore in the main as well. Easy for me to say because I see cloak, but anytime I see a banshee, I'm getting at least one spore in the mineral line. Then again, I don't make this many queens usually. I stick to 3 queen. So maybe... Oh, nice game sense there. Overseer building. 2-2. All the Hydra upgrades and stuff. Awesome. I even like his decision to build Hydras here, not saturate the third. I like to get about 5 Hydras out and then do that. However, I'm not a big fan of building more roaches. I think this is plenty of roaches. I think 4 or 5 Hydras will let you fully saturate that third base with relative ease. Oh, the Overseer. Good. Income. That's the big thing. That's telling the tale right now. Where's that spore being built in the main? I like it. Definitely should have got it preemptively, I think. When you see the Banshee, like when you're out across the map with the roaches, you see Banshee. Just grab it, and then that one at the natural, like you did, move it to the third. Awesome. Powering drones for the third, just quite a bit late. We want to be saturating that third by about 11-12 minutes in a regular game. And again, even though the opponent put on a fair bit of pressure, I still think you can be hitting that benchmark of about 11-12 minute saturation. Like, this is me. I wouldn't be going for this type of push, but it looks like it's actually going to do really well. Oh my god, is he going to get that? Get it. Please get it. Focus it down. Do it. Oh my god, you're a beast. I wouldn't have even gone for that stack. That's great. And exactly, you do not go down and therefore, oh, I killed a expansion. I'll push into the siege line. No, 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 no. Pull back. Get more Hydras. Saturate this base completely, which you have. Get those gases. Yep. An infestation pit, too. And even, I would probably take this or this as well. How are we doing on gas? Ooh, the main gas. So that pesky dick of a Banshee. Sorry for the language. Killed the gas, so you gotta obviously build the 2 more drones and replace it. Anytime they harass you with any kind of air units or DTs, whatever, you want to check your gas again. And again, even things like this going under 15, it was under 16 rather, at the third, is a bit of an issue. Now, that is not that big of a push. We actually should be able to deal with it with this army. Unfortunately, we don't have much map vision. This will be interesting. Base trade at 15 minutes against Mech. Okay, Tbham knows and decides to pull back, so that's unfortunate. How you could have saw that, like, just have an Overlord spew and creep here in the middle of the map and you'll see any kind of push like that. Because, I mean, obviously, if you were standing right here and he comes in with this army, you straight up attack, move into it, and kill it. And honestly, I think that will happen anyway. Nice little split there. This is actually really nice. One thing I want to point out here from Tbham's micro is he moved in close, which is good, so you can attack with all your units. But he didn't focus fire tanks with all of his army. He moved over with just like 6-8 units and started sniping tanks over here while these units just continue to attack move. And that's definitely what you want to do. You do not want to have all your units selected and focus fire one unit against a mech army because you'll have too much movement, not enough attacking. Good game sense, good move there. And pretty one-sided engagement.